Have happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. Hopefully you're wearing green. Before we start, I have a few housekeeping items that I'd like to go over. Number one is we will be providing you a copy of Jessica's PowerPoint. Also, we are recording this, so if you want to play it back at your leisure sometime, it'll be available on our website, which is score.org/akroncanton.org. Jessica will answer your questions as they come in. We'll be monitoring those and we'll wait for her to pause and then we'll ask her your questions. Um, we're asking that you please use the Zoom Q&A feature for your questions so we can kind of not miss any of them. If you put them in chat, they can get lost a little bit. So, and we don't want to do that. So if Jessica has questions for you, however, we're asking that you use the chat feature. And after the webinar, you'll receive a 2-minute survey to give us some feedback on how we could make these any better. So, um, next slide, please. My name is Ed Cook, and I am a SCORE mentor here in Canton, Ohio. I joined SCORE back in 2013 after I retired with a career from PepsiCo. So, if those of you that don't know what SCORE is, we are a national nonprofit that began back in 1964. Our first chapter was established in Dallas, Texas. Now we have over 200 chapters nationwide. We mentor, our specialty is mentoring small businesses, and we mentor startups, existing companies, whether they're for profit or whether they're nonprofit. And requesting a mentor is extremely easy. You can see by the big blue dot there that according to the SBA, that clients who receive 3+ hours of mentoring are more successful. That's basically 3 sessions with one of our mentors or a group of mentors. Next slide, please. Our mission is to support our small business community by doing a couple things. Number one is we provide free and confidential mentoring to small business owners and entrepreneurs. And second, we provide educational workshops and webinars on topics that small businesses can benefit by. And we try to keep the workshops free. So far, we're pretty successful at that. We believe that small businesses are important because they impact the national economy and they create jobs in the local communities as well. So, next slide, please. We have a very large network of volunteers. That 10,000 is a little outdated. It's closer to 8,000 now, I think. And we serve about 1,500 communities. Usually our chapters are located in smaller cities, or excuse me, in the larger cities. And each of our volunteers has a very unique business skill set. Locally, I know we have HR professionals, we have marketing professionals. So we try to tailor the client's needs to the mentor that'll help them the most. So, next slide, please. We all sign an annual code of ethics every year, and it just basically says we can't benefit in any way from our clients. That goes down to accepting gifts, actually. So it's pretty strict. And our client information is confidential because it's protected by the U.S. government. Next slide, please. Our mentoring and our workshops are free because there's really 3 reasons. We are a resource partner with the SBA, meaning they refer clients to us and us to them, so to speak. We're partners. We also have a number of local sponsors that are very generous with their donations. And having a network of volunteers helps that cause as well. Next slide, please. Locally, here are our sponsors in our for our Akron Canton chapter. At a platinum level, there's the Hoover Foundation, Stark Community Foundation, Stark State, Akron Community Foundation, Key Bank, and at a gold level, we have the Huntington Bank, the Calhoun Charitable Trust. Next slide, please. At the silver level, we have People's Bank, Welty Family Foundation, the Orr Donor Advice Fund, the Lerner Foundation, the Ripple Charitable Fund, Consumers Bank, and the Munson Charitable Fund. Next slide, please. And like I said, if you go to our website, score.org, you can request a mentor very easily. You can also think about if you'd like to become a volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers too. So if you have some kind of a background that you think would help small businesses, we could use your help. So with that, I'm going to ask Gwen to stop sharing, and then I'm going to ask Jessica to start sharing. Okay. It's all yours, Jessica.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am Jessica Wagner. I own Just Be Media. Um, this is our modern AI for small business. So I'm going to try to see the chat. I don't know if I can, but I kind of like to get an idea before I start of everyone's experience level with AI, whether you haven't really used it yet, or maybe you just kind of dabble. You use it for personal use, maybe, or you're using it every day in business. If Daniel loves AI, thank you. So if everyone can kind of give me email and writing. Okay.
Are you seeing them, Jess?
Yeah, yep, I am.
Okay. Business plans, websites.
Okay, great. So it seems like some of you at least have would love to use other than ChatGPT too. It seems like a lot of you at least have used it for something. The workshop that I'm teaching today is going to kind of teach you a little bit how to level up, different tools that are out there and things that you can do with AI. So as long as you're more than like never used it, this class or this workshop is going to benefit you a lot. Susan, we're going to hope that we can change your mind on that and show you some ways that it is more useful. So this is a little introduction about me. I have been in business a little over 10 years, and I've worked with brands across all different industries. I try to take a practical, no fluff approach. I hope I speak your language. I try to meet people where they are in their journey. And I love, love, love educating small business owners. So they can make smarter decisions and within their budget. So that's kind of a little bit about me. So this webinar is perfect for business owners who are past the basics. So even if you just use it for personal or you're just using it to help write your email, those are pretty basic, but I think that this will help you kind of level up how you use AI. This is a great webinar for marketers who are ready to think strategically. For people who, like you, who are already using AI tools and anyone preparing for what's next. So I saw someone in here, I think it was Kristen, who said she would love to try something other than ChatGPT. So this may give you some ideas of other platforms to use. Why this matters. I like to give the example of Xerox and Kodak, I think, were the two that uh, didn't want to kind of, I think it was Kodak, didn't want to like evolve into digital cameras. And then all of a sudden, the film industry is out, everyone's using digital cameras, and they kind of fell off the radar for quite some time. So AI is here. It's not going away. So adapting to using AI is why this matters. Everything's changing. It changes every single day. Things that we were doing last year with AI are completely different today. So search behavior, the way you and I, they failed to evolve. Thanks, Trish. Thanks for confirming. So search behavior is changing rapidly. Raise your hand or say yes or something if you've ever said, "Hey Siri, anything." Now my phone's going off, sorry. Or "Hey Alexa," or any of those. That's AI. People don't realize that they've been using AI longer than they think. So that's how we search now. We've been searching that way. Now we just, instead of saying, "Hey, that woman's name," because I made everybody's phone go off, we're actually typing in Chat GPT or something like that. We AI also influences how businesses are being discovered. So this is a big part of what I'm teaching today is how your website can show up in AI and why it's important. Automation is becoming highly accessible. Anytime you've ever put shoes in your shopping cart and didn't buy them, and then you get a coupon in your email, that's automation. Strategy matters more than tools. So I will say this till I'm blue in the face. With AI, with any marketing, whether it's traditional or digital, your strategy has to be on point first. So this is your logo, your colors, your fonts, your voice, your mission, your unique value proposition, your target audience. All of those things need to be known before you kind of take the next steps. Does anybody have any questions with that?
We do have a question. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, we do have a question, Jess, from Trish. Are there settings we should make sure we use to prevent AI from using my information to train its tools or something
So
nefarious?
there are, and I'm going to say it later, but if you have proprietary information, don't put it in AI. That is what I can tell you.
Okay.
There are certain AI platforms that are better at protecting your information than others. But for example, ChatGPT is the popular one. They may use information if you put it in AI. So that is why, I mean, I will say it again later. Um, don't attach any AI platform to anything proprietary, just for safety precautions. Now, there are, like I said, some are better than others. So that's just kind of use it as, something you wouldn't tell somebody else. Probably I would not put it in AI. So the evolution of digital marketing. So keywords like restaurant near me changed to intent, like where is the best vegetarian pizza in Worcester, which is where I'm at? Or why does, I don't know, Sparky's Pizza have the best vegetarian pizza? Send me reviews. So things like that have changed a little bit. Traffic on your website has transitioned to people wanting answers. So we all used to look at our analytics and be like, "Oh, yay, I'm getting 600 new visitors every single day, 500 of them more organic. That's good. I must be doing something right." And now people of those 500 that are actually hitting your website or 600, they want answers. So clarity on your website matters more than just numbers alone these days. Manual to assisted systems. So things like I wouldn't connect my QuickBooks to any AI because that is my financial information, Kristen. I wouldn't put procedures and processes that are proprietary to my business that other people don't do. I probably wouldn't put that in AI. So it depends on your industry, your business. If you work for a company that has competitors, I wouldn't be teaching it about my specific processes and procedures and financials because there is a chance maybe a competitor could stumble upon it if they know what to prompt. So I wouldn't get too hung up on this. So I wouldn't get too hung up on what you can and can't put in AI. I would just know that there are not safeguards today because we are still early in the adaptation of AI. So manual to assisted systems. So everything was manual. We used to have to fill out spreadsheets and figure out Excel codes to make the spreadsheets, be able to calculate everything. And now certain AI systems can actually do that for you. AI is really good at math, so keep that in mind. And static websites, which are like your brochure style websites that say you have a landing page, you have an about page, you have a contact page, maybe a blog, maybe a services page. That's what I would consider a brochure or a static website, something that you're not updating, you just have a presence online. AI needs your website to be a living system. So things like funnels, you pull your social media into your website, what are they supposed to do? AI can help you create a lead gen campaign, for example. So Sam, I use Claude. It is more secure than ChatGPT. So, and I mean, if you follow the news at all, you would understand why that is. Go next. So this is where we kind of start getting into the guts of the webinar. So most of you, I would assume, have heard of SEO, which is search engine optimization. It's been around for a long time. It's how you rank at the top of Google, top 3, first page. It's how you show up in those near me searches. It's how you show up in the map, that if you're searching for a specific place, it helps you show up in Google Marketplace if you sell products. So SEO is still the foundation of everything. Technical structure matters. And what that means is technical SEO is everything on the back end of your website that helps you get found in search. The front end still looks pretty, but the back end needs to be made properly so that search engines can find you. Content quality beats volume. So a great way to boost your SEO and to get found in search is content. Update your blog on a monthly basis at least. But there are people who will go to AI and they will just be putting out blogs every single day that have something even remotely to do with their industry. So yes, they're getting the content out there, but they're just grinding, trying to get people to visit their website. But today, content quality and clarity matters way more than volume. If I do a website audit for you, I can tell whether your content is written by AI, and Google can also. Google will say, well, ding your website if it's all written by AI these days. So if you're going to use AI for any information on your website, make sure you put the human voice in it. SEO feeds visibility everywhere. So think of SEO as like the top of the funnel that's gathering all the information. And then with that, obviously weak SEO or no SEO limits everything else when it comes to search. So this is kind of the next step. AEO is answer engine optimization. Can you give me a hand raise or something if you've heard of AEO? Okay, seems like nobody's heard this term. So AEO is answer engine optimization. Thank you for answering. So this is when people go to ChatGPT and they say, I am a social media marketer in Northeast Ohio. And can you tell me about X? It's a full question, it's prompted. Or can you tell me there's a new trend on TikTok with whatever haircut? Can you tell me why this haircut is so popular and where I can get one of these haircuts in Rochester, for example? So people are asking full-blown questions. AI tools pull summarized answers. So if you are on Google and you type in SCORE Akron Canton, well, the acronym is explained at the top of the screen. Answer engine optimization is what AEO means. So if you go to Google these days and you say, what is SCORE Akron Canton? You're going to get a little paragraph at the top of Google before any answers show up that say something like SCORE is a national organization that helps small businesses. They're funded by the SBA and they're located here. Something along those lines. The same thing happens when you're on social media these days. So if you go to Instagram or Facebook and you try to type in a local band name, what happens first is a paragraph comes up explaining what they think that means. If their band name is unique, it'll probably pull that band's information. And then you get that list of people, hashtags, locations, and things like that. But they're going to try to explain what you're looking for first. It thinks you're asking questions. So this is why clear, structured content wins. Again, your website, social media captions, anything that you're putting online to market your business these days needs to be clear and structured. Authority matters more than tricks. So people who used to practice in like black hat SEO, which is basically hacking to get to the top, they're not winning anymore. I'm not saying your computer can't get hacked or your phone can't get hacked, but to hack your way to the top of the Google or Yahoo or Bing list, that's out, because authority on your website, if you can position yourself as the expert and people are going to your website to find answers, you're going to rank higher than anything. And you have an opportunity to show up in those little paragraphs. So the next definition is
Hey, Jessica.
yeah.
So is AEO, that has nothing to do with the prompts that you use in your AI
It
quest,
has
right?
everything to do with your
So
prompt.
it's prompting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's what you prompt is a full-blown question. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is
Right.
what I want to know. Things like that. GEO is generative engine optimization. So this is like your Chat GPT, and Chat GPT can fall in under both of these. But has anybody here heard of GEO, generative engine optimization? They go hand in hand. Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So these are terms that you want to know because they can help with your prompting. If you are doing anything with updating a website or even, excuse me, social media posts or things like that, these are terms that you would want to use in your prompt. Make this readable for GEO, things like that. So GEO is AI generated results that influence decisions. So these are this is what I do, this is who I am, this is where I'm located, who are my competitors, and what are they doing? And that helps you influence what you should be doing in your business. Visibility now includes AI platforms. So if you're not being found on AI and your competitors are, you're getting outranked, basically.
Mhm.
So this is where you want to optimize your websites, your social posts, and all those things to be visible in AI. Again, same thing with AEO. Authority is greater than ranking alone. So this is those people that like to feed bad answers into AI. It can be used nefariously. But if you can prove that you are the authority, you will rank higher than you will be higher than just ranking at all. And people can research like why did you recommend this and things like that.
Hey, Jess, we have a few questions.
Sure.
Do you have examples of AEO and GEO by any chance?
Um, so let me start with Eric Jacobson.
Okay.
So Eric, I without being political, I cannot fully answer your question. I would actually go to ChatGPT or Claude or Google and ask that question because I don't want to be the person to answer that question. It is a very politically charged reason. Catherine, how many social media channels do you recommend a business have? Um, Catherine, yes and no. It depends on the size of your business. Um, if you're a larger business and you're a recognized business and people are um, looking for your site or your very niche services online, you can just use a website. But I always recommend, websites are the foundation of your brand. Social media is the cord that turns the light bulbs on. So it's up to you. Is one engine better? Again, there all of the tools are different for different things. And we will get into some of that. So if you have specific questions to your business, reach out to me after the webinar. Sana, if you can, I'll put my email and all my contact information up at the end of the webinar. So if you have specific questions for your business, um, feel free to reach out to me afterwards. So where are we at now? So websites must be AI readable. This falls into the schema of your website, which is again the back end of your websites. If AI can't read your website, then the chances of you showing up is not likely. So how SEO, AEO, and GEO connect. SEO builds discoverability, AEO builds clarity, GEO builds authority, and one weak link breaks the chain. So again, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. So what this means for your website is clear positioning is critical, structured content is required, FAQ and service pages matter, and many sites are not built for this shift. So we are within my business, A lot of times we used to be able to just update a website and make it SEO friendly. At this point, we are tearing down the whole house and rebuilding it from the ground up. Yeah, so again, Ronald, that has to do with the back end build of your website. So if your website is built on Wix or Squarespace or anything that's drag and drop, AI probably cannot read the back end of your website. So where does AI fit into the bigger picture? AI accelerates strong systems. If your website is solid, AI can help accelerate it. AI exposes weak foundations. Again, this has to do with the back end of your website. Tools do not replace strategy. This is going back to who is your target audience? What is your unique value proposition? If you don't know those things, I wouldn't even start with AI. I would start with the basics. Human oversight remains essential. Do not put anything that is created within any AI tool out there unless you've looked at it first. And possibly, you have to approve everything. Humans are still, they're never going away. So the people that say AI is taking my job, not true, because humans have to approve everything that goes out online. We're never going to be obsolete. So does anybody know or has anybody heard of an AI agent? Awesome. Okay. So some yeses, some nos. So the difference is AI tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, Gemini, all of those are AI tools. They respond when they're prompted. So you ask it a question, it answers. AI agents work toward a goal. So that is a key distinction. Know your goal before you even look up the word AI agent. Tools assist, agents act. And agents act across steps and systems. And I'll give you some examples as we get further into this. So, what is an AI agent? They are goal driven AI systems. They can perform multi step tasks. They can interact with multiple tools and they can operate semi autonomously. Autonomous AI is not there yet. Autonomous is just like it can think for itself. We still need humans to direct AI agents. This is kind of advanced. So if you've never heard of AI agents and what they do, just absorb the information and maybe take a look at what it is later. What can AI agents do? They can monitor data or inputs. So you can plug them into, excuse me, a system that maybe monitors numbers for your business, and it can monitor that data and give you results of what it's finding. They can handle repetitive workflows. So anything that you do on a repetitive basis that is just a time suck, an AI agent can probably help you with it. They can trigger actions based on conditions. So if you tell an AI agent, I have an AI agent plugged into my email, for example. So a condition I have is if a contact form comes in and I tell it exactly what that inbox message says, tell me whether that's a lead or spam. So someone takes action, it triggers my AI agent, and it tells me whether it's a lead or spam. So they can assist internal operations. Again, I want to emphasize assist, not replace. So what they cannot do, they cannot understand nuance without guidance. they cannot make strategic business decisions. You know your business better than any robot. So strategy needs to come from you. It cannot protect your brand without guardrails. This goes into do not put things, do not teach an AI agent something that you don't want out there. Um,
Is this usually this tool, is this usually, or this agent, is it usually something like a subscription you have to pay for, or are they offered
no,
free?
no, they're typically free. I mean, you can buy. I think Sintra is a company that will sell you AI agents. But any AI platform or tool can create agents for you.
What you would just plug that into the prompt?
Yeah, I want to create an AI agent to find leads in my email box or, something
Mhm.
like that. And it will tell you what you need to have to be able to do that. Um, so I always laugh at questions like this a little bit because the best person to ask all of these questions that I'm being asked is to just go directly to AI. Um, Ronald, I have some fun things if we have time at the end of this webinar that go into photos a little bit. So AI agents cannot fix broken systems or messaging. Excuse me. So if your system's already broke, it's not like an IT person that can come in and fix the system. It'll tell you how to fix the system, but it won't actually fix the system for you. So some of the risks of AI agents is that having too many agents doing too many things gets overwhelming and it causes you to have less oversight over what they are doing for you, which makes errors scale very quickly within your business. Um, if anybody has used AI for marketing, you know that brand voice can be inconsistent with AI, and an AI agent can be putting your brand voice, whether it's scheduling social posts for you or creating blogs on your website. It can quickly skew your brand voice. So again, human oversight is very needed. And then there's always security and data concerns with anything that you put on the internet, whether it's AI or not. So when do AI agents make sense? AI agents make sense for internal processes. Help me fill out this spreadsheet. Gemini is a great tool for people who are in a corporate situation and they have spreadsheets and they have all these things that need to talk to each other. An AI agent is great for that. And Gemini, because it's a Google product, has access to all the Google tools. So Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google Keynote, all of those things that Google has put out over the year, Gemini talks to those very well. So those are data heavy tasks that I highly recommend Copilot or Gemini. If you're doing things with heavy data, those are ones that I would try practicing with. Monitoring and reporting. So on the second of every month, I send all of my social media clients a report on a monthly basis of how well did they do last month, their engagement, their reach, how many posts did we put out, how many new followers did they get, how many video views did they get, things like that. I plug those reports. I have an AI agent plug those reports into Claude, and AI analyzes that report for me to send to my clients. So if you have a well-documented workflow, that is a great place for an AI agent to start dabbling. And if you don't have like your processes and procedures figured out, that's where I would start again first. So AI agents are confusing. They're not fully automated yet. They require a lot of training, as with any AI tool, but agents can act as your like 24-hour assistant. So if someone emails you at 4 in the morning and you're not ready to respond, it can prompt you in the morning, hey, respond to this email. It's a potential lead. So that's, does anybody have any questions on AI agents that I can answer pretty quickly? I understand AI agents are advanced, which is why I started with them, because AI agents and automations, I think most of you are going to understand automation a little bit better. So does anybody know what AI automation is? Or is anybody using AI automations? I'm going to assume that most of you are if you have a website with a contact form.
Like
So
like a contact form, like someone wants to is requesting a SCORE mentor, they fill out information and then it's submitted, that kind of a submittance.
usually what happens is I'm Jessica. I'm looking for a SCORE mentor. I fill out a form. And then in my email inbox, I get an email that says, thank you for requesting a SCORE mentor. Someone will reach out to you shortly. That follow-up email from the form is an automation. Does that
Okay, we
make
have,
sense?
yeah, okay, gotcha. We have a question from L'Oreal. Uh,
Okay.
can can you recommend like a crash course, like a AI for beginners webinar or anything like
Yeah.
that?
Yep. I actually do teach a kind of like an AI 101. And I think I will be doing that for SCORE in June. So like I said, if you're just beginning or starting out, kind of absorb this information. And if you need more of a 101 crash course, that webinar might be better for you. Karen, yes, receipts from somebody ordering on your website, usually that's an automation. So automations follow rules. Somebody did this, now automate that. So agents make decisions within limits. Automations are safer for most businesses, especially if you're starting out, and agents require higher maturity.
L'Oreal, one other suggestion is if you do go to score.org and you dig around in there a little bit, look for webinars. And there are a number of recorded webinars on a variety of topics that you can listen to and view for free. Again, score.org, and I don't have it in front of me, but you're looking for recorded workshops, and that you'll there's a slew of them, and if you can filter it based on the topic that you're looking to get answers for, marketing or AI or what have you, and you should find something. Hope that helps.
John, you are way ahead of this class if you even know the word agentic. So agentic is, I predicted agentic AI to come like this summer, but it's already out there. So it came a lot faster than I thought it would to the public. So I am not sure of that answer yet. I need to dig in a little bit more. I do know that the CRM, um, I can't think of the name of it. Salesforce is using agentic AI. So maybe Salesforce would be something to look into. And then Catherine, email me at the end of this webinar and I will help you navigate that. And then Trish, higher maturity, meaning you are more than just using AI to ask basic questions. You're using more AI for more than just automations. You're actually ready to start training an AI agent to do something within your business. It takes a lot of learning to get there. And I think I've answered all the questions for now. So what automation actually is connecting tools and systems. So if somebody fills out my Calendly and schedules an appointment, Calendly does not read iOS anymore calendars. So it goes automatically onto a Google Calendar. And I have an automation set up so that if somebody schedules a call on my Google Calendar, it automatically shows up on my iOS calendar. Comes in a different color, so I see it. So that's something that I automate. It's trigger-based workflow. You schedule a call, something happens. It reduces manual work. It reduces me from having to check my Google Calendar on a weekly basis because I use an iOS calendar. I don't have to update my calendar manually. It does it for me. And it increases consistency. If I miss a call on my Google Calendar, I may have missed an opportunity. Automation platforms to know. So this is where you guys can get started. Zapier is actually what I started with, and that is the automation that I used to have my Calendly talk to a Google Calendar to talk to my iOS calendar. It is very user-friendly. It's AI built. They're called Zaps when you create an automation. And you can use their AI chat box to tell it what you want to do, and it's going to recommend what's being set up and how to set it up and what you need and tell you exactly what to do. It's great for beginners, but it can get expensive if you keep using it. There are cutoffs. Make is a visual builder. I know somebody mentioned Webflow, but it's like Wix, like Squarespace. Webflow, it's like a drag and drop visual builder, but it's a little overcomplicated for beginners. N8N is highly customizable, but it's not for beginners. N8N is what developers use because it understands code. It can host plugins that you create within N8N. So yeah, I love that somebody's using Go High Level. It's CRM focused, but like I mentioned here, if you love it, fantastic. But there is a risk with platform lock-in with Go High Level because it's not easy to export if you ever want to go somewhere else. So Go High Level is a great platform. I recommend it, but just be aware that once you start it, you may have platform lock-in. So your platform choice depends on needs versus experience. If you're just starting out with automation, Zapier, just play with it. You don't even have to like create a legitimate thing. Just get in there and start playing with it. Zapier is also a lot of times, if you have a web developer build your website, they're using Zapier to send those automated emails. There are thousands of platforms that do automations at this point. So it's really about just kind of like looking them up, finding one that you like and playing with it until you get comfortable with it.
You'd give the same advice as to choosing which AI platform you want to use? Find the
Yeah,
one that
I
you are
I
most
would
familiar.
say I would say most people these days, because Chat GPT is kind of a buzzword,
Right.
that's where they're starting, and it's a great tool to start with. Again, I have these 5 ingredients in my refrigerator. Create me a recipe with these 5 ingredients. It's
Right.
fantastic for that.
Right. Right.
It's going to come up with something so gourmet with 5 ingredients that you never thought you would ever cook.
Right.
Going to
Right.
do that for you. Even, who are my competitors in Worcester? It will find people who their websites that mention they do what I do.
Mhm.
It's great for stuff like that. Write me a blog post, rewrite this email, write me a social caption. But again, I mean, those are all great. ChatGPT is great for that stuff. It's once you get a little more advanced and you need to do either more proprietary things, or ChatGPT gets to a point where it just keeps spitting out the same information because it thinks that's what you want to know. Starts using the same words over and over again because you approved one post. Once you start kind of getting, I'm going to say, annoyed by what ChatGPT is responding, that's when you want to try something like Gemini or Copilot or Claude or Perplexity, because it's going to have a different language.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense.
Mhm.
Early on, Ronald asked a question about whether AI can read or understand photos.
Yeah,
And
I answered that. I said if we have time at the end,
okay,
I
okay,
have a couple pictures to show.
okay.
So small business, which is what I think most of us are, versus enterprise reality. Big businesses automate for scale. Small businesses automate to get a little time back in their day. If you can automate something so that on a sunny day you can go golfing, do it. It's worth your mental health. Not everything needs automation. That is something people need to realize, is not everything needs automated. If it takes more time to get the automation to work than for you to just do it, it's not worth your time. Again, your websites and data must be solid first. Everything is always going to come back to website foundations, strategy, processes, procedures. All of that stuff is foundational stuff. What automation is good at? Lead capture and follow up. So if you've got a little chat box on your website that's people can ask questions, and you want it to just email you immediately or text you or whatever, if it's an actual lead and not just a general question, you can set up an automation for that. It's great for internal notifications, kind of like what I just talked about. Data syncing between tools. This is the Hey Google Calendar, talk to my iOS. And repetitive operational tasks. So everything that I've given examples on for automation is kind of a repetitive operational task. So where automation breaks down is if you have poor data or processes. You can actually over automate, just like you can have too many AI agents. Automation can get confused if you automate something that needs automated. I know that sounds weird, but if you automate something that you also need it to automate a next step, and there are two separate automations, it can get confused. Lack of strategy, again, foundational things. You can actually create automation chaos instead of fixing your chaos that you already have. Humans still need to lead the charge. Automation needs clear directions. So you need to tell it exactly what you want it to do. Again, if you're looking to start dabbling in this, Zapier will help you solve these problems because it kind of doesn't let you. It'll say, hey, I think you need a different automation for this. So some final takeaways and next steps are SEO, AEO, and GEO all work together. AI agents are powerful, but they're still in their early stages. Automation should support clarity. Strong websites make everything else work. And I always plug myself. So Just Be Media helps small businesses build systems that scale responsibly. And this is how you can get in touch with me. Does anybody have any final questions? I'm going to put my email, my direct email address in the chat for anybody that doesn't want to fill out a contact form.
Yeah, I'd like to add that Jessica's next webinar with us is on June the 9th. And if you should be receiving our score or marketing on all of our webinars that we have coming up. If you don't, you might want to check your junk folder. But so mark your calendars for the 9th of June.
And if anybody wants to stick around, I do have some pictures that were generated by AI that we can kind of talk about.
Yeah, I'd like to see them actually.
Okay. Ed, you might have seen these before.
Okay. I've actually played around with it. I took a picture of my wife and I cut and pasted it into just the GP chat, and I asked it to make it look like a painting, like a
Mhm.
oil painting, and it did it. I should have probably been a little more specific, in a certain artist style or what have you. But yeah, it was kind of fun actually.
Yeah. So I like to play a game called What Went Wrong. So this is an AI generated photo that I found. I didn't create this. I don't remember where I saw it. But if you want to, if you're still around, if you want to put in the chat some things that might be wrong with this picture. Always the hands, right? Yeah. And only three fingers. Maybe he got it cut. Maybe his pinky got cut off. I'm not sure. Yeah. You're welcome, Kevin. So some things I noticed on this is there's like two doorknobs.
Hmm.
Um, and the bucket that he's sitting on is upside down. He would actually fall in that bucket. Quilt shop is on the door twice. Trish, I think that's a valid explanation. Um, and then also the stand with the apron on it only has two legs, and those style of legs would need three. And then here's one more. So this is an actual flyer I tried to make with AI for the Wayne County Fair last year, and there are so many things wrong with this. Lots of spelling errors. Science is not spelled with an S at the end. Sunday's on there twice. Tuesday is also 9/9 and 9/10.
Hmm.
The one I like is under Sunday 9/7. It really messed that one up. It both spelled science wrong, and it put an O at nevertheless because it's a trio. So it made it instead of nevertheless trio, it's nevertheless-o trio. So yeah, that's what I have. So just remember that AI is powerful, but adoption can feel like one more mountain to climb. I appreciate all of you who stuck around and listened to my webinar. Again, I am an open book. Feel free to reach out. I love to hear from people who have taken my webinars with more questions. And
Okay.
thank you, Ed and Gwen, for inviting me.
Jessica, thank you for your time and your take on AI and how you can use it in your marketing approach. And thank you all that are still out there. Hope to see you on June the 9th. So long, everybody. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.